Good evening, my name's Lannen, rhymes with Cannon, and today I didn't leave the house. Molly wasn't feeling too well, so I ended up spending the whole day here with her. Now I've still got a lot done, and I can also tell you about our new bank account. Welcome to the vlog. I'm basically upstairs because I'm literally going to bed after this. It's quite late. Sophie is still not back. She's been out most of the day, busy working on a project. Then she spent the evening in the tea room. So while one of us is here, she's managed to still carry on and get quite a bit done from her photos. So today I've managed to get a few things done in terms of making phone calls. I've spoken to the council, accountant, and made some inquiries on a till system. Lots of things going on. It's just got my mind spinning. But today's video is about the banking. So when you start a business, you need a business bank account. Because we started a limited company, we need an account with the company's name on it. It's not a case of you can just use a spare account that you've got. Now, it's not a bad thing, but the classic banking thing, business banks are slightly different to your normal banking because ultimately business banks want to charge you either a monthly or an annual fee. Every account's got different options and pros and cons and things like that. Now, I've got to be honest, I didn't get too involved into them because basically I looked at a couple of options, banks that were very, very close to the tea room because there will be some cash that will need to be deposited at some point. So I looked at a few options, a few charges, and all of these accounts seem to sort of have an entry or they'll waive the fee for 6 months, a year, something like that, and then eventually a charge will come into play. Now that charge can be anywhere from £7.50 a month up to £20 a month, depending on what you're getting as a package. Ultimately, this held me back a little bit because I needed to get this sorted. We didn't have a lot of time to sit down and sort of go to see the bank manager and apply for an account and things like that. So I looked at a few online options, some online applications, but they were still quite involved and I still wasn't sure on the fees. Now, when I started looking for business bank accounts, I did come across something different, slightly different, called Tide. Now, Tide is an online bank account, so it's quite cool actually, because the app, you download the app and you start talking in chat form to someone. They ask you a few details and then that's it. You can get things up and running. So now, the accountant had to make a change before it could go through. So that was our fault. That took a few days just to sort that. But once that went through, the account was set up, we were up and running, and it's all online. Now we can deposit money at the post office, so there's no branches, we haven't got to worry about that. Some of the benefits, not only is it all online and you can talk to anyone, instead of sending emails and calling up, you can just send off a message on your chat and you can talk to someone. They come back, they're nice, they're friendly, they're helpful. From a banking point of view, it was a pleasant experience. You get a sort code, account number, you get cards, they're in the post, they'll be with us shortly. It'll allow us cards so that if we need to take money out, then we can. If we need to take cash out, we can. And if we need to pay something, it will come straight out of the account via the card. So everything's covered, and it just means that now anything we buy, right from domain names all the way to monthly bills that were coming out with the gas, water and electricity, will all come out of that account. Now, another reason that I like Tide compared to some of the other accounts is that the way that we're setting up the back end of the tea room is to be somewhat automated so that I do not need to be there monitoring it day and night. Sophie can run what she runs, but the back end, I want it to almost run a little bit by itself. So I'm looking at systems that can take over from me in terms of the bookkeeping. So I don't physically need to go there and cash up every night and do that kind of thing. It'll all be tracked, it'll all be monitored, and it will all be automated. Now, Tide as a bank account links to a bit of software called Xero, which I'm actually looking at for the accounting and the bookkeeping, which can link to a till system, and it'll all be linked, which means if I set it up properly, I won't have to do anything apart from just make sure it runs and everything sits together. But more importantly, it can then shoot straight to the accountant and she takes care of the rest. So we're trying to keep things simple, and I'm trying to set this tea room up so that it's got a good foundation, and it can grow and less friction. I don't want any bottlenecks, and potentially I could be a bottleneck if I haven't done the accounts or I'm not keeping the books properly. So I'm trying my best to eliminate everything, create less friction. Now, another positive is there are no fees on the Tide account. There is a charge, so you could see that as a positive, you could see that as a negative. So if you deposit cash, it will cost you £1, and you can pay that in at any post office. Any transaction into your Tide account or from your Tide account that's not going into another Tide account, I'll just say Tide one more time, will cost you 20 pence. So that's how they make their money, basically. They're online. It's a really interesting company. If you look them up, they're a sort of, they've got their investors, and they seem quite keen on helping startups and small businesses. That's what they're aiming for, because they know it can be difficult, because a lot of the banks are mainly interested in the big guys. They're not really interested in the startups, because technically startups are classed as a risk, but these guys put some trust in you, they get you up and running, and give you the opportunity to start earning money straight away. No messing around, no weeks, no 7 days, no waiting for an appointment to go into the bank and sort out an application, all online. Now, they do your checks, and they even do this cool thing where you take a photo of some ID, and then they take your photo and it matches you. So, you know, it's not a case of it's just you doing it on name and paper. They do their checks, they do their credit checks, and they also do their company house checks. So everything has to check out, otherwise they wouldn't let you join. But they're more on your side than some of the banks are. So keep that in mind. If you're struggling, if you've had any problems with a major bank, try Tide. They will look after you. So check out Tide. I'll put a link below in the description. It's a very clever system. I am very impressed. So I'll update you when I get the cards. But as far as I'm concerned, now everything can start. I can start ordering the phone line, all the little details that I've been waiting for, and put some money in the account so we can get the bills rolling and everything started. Thank you for watching. Consider liking, subscribing, clicking the bell button, and otherwise, until next time.